The video game category on YouTube is huge, and it's filled with just a ton of different niches. It's so much more than Let's Plays or whatever a casual non-gamer may think from the outside. There's a ton of different specific, subcategories of gaming YouTube that people are into watching, and I recently came across one where it seems like every YouTuber in this niche has less than 100,000 subscribers, and yet I have really enjoyed watching these types of videos. So today I want to highlight, like a handful of people making these types of videos that I find to be so entertaining, partially because I can actually relate to what they're doing, and that's the process of, I don't know if I should call it retail arbitrage, video game flipping, retro game collecting. I'm not even really sure exactly what you call it, but for the most part, all of these guys are going into thrift stores, Goodwills, Walmart clearance sections, you name it, scoring awesome deals on video games, primarily classic video games, but sometimes newer games as well. Like I said, looking at Walmart clearance, but primarily they're looking at older, more retro video games. They take those games, they then flip them, and they resell them on the internet with the goal of kind of gathering up money to ultimately buy the collection of games that they personally want to have. And this is something that I do firsthand. I know people hate on scalpers who are, reselling the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X right now, but I argue that with this retro stuff, this used stuff, it's completely different. I mean, they're not using bots to buy these games online. They are physically hunting for these games, and maybe that's the correct name for the category. It's video game hunting. These guys are going out to stores, showing you the footage of them looking through, just tons of 2-decade-old sports games that aren't worth anything to ultimately find, that gem, that Fire Emblem on the Wii, whatever it may be, that's actually a very rare game sitting hidden in those racks at thrift stores. So the first guy that kind of introduced me to this whole niche on YouTube was Retro Rick. I'm not even actually sure how I came across his channel, but his challenge, which is really a series in itself that spans, I think, like 50 plus episodes and really seems like it's something that belongs on Netflix. I've enjoyed watching it so much. I've watched it in its entirety, and it's actually still running with new episodes on Mondays. Is a series where he took a $10 bill and then kept reusing and recycling that money through every sort of game sale and game purchase. So he started with $10. He bought $10 worth of games. He then flipped that $10 worth of games. Maybe he made like $20. Now he had $20 to try and buy stuff with and flip. And he just kind of kept working his way up a ladder until he kind of gathered the collection that he wanted to have, which isn't a point that he's at yet because the series is still ongoing. Now I think his original intention was to gather up a huge collection that he could then take to a convention and sell there. And some of the stuff he does keep in his personal collection as well. But I think his goal was to bring it all to a convention. The convention got canceled because everything got canceled last year. So he's still just doing the series, I think, kind of just for the heck of it. Another one that I watch frequently is Phoenix Resale, and like Retro Rick, he makes 2 videos a week, so there's always a lot to watch. Now this guy's more serious into the reselling aspect of it. He doesn't seem to collect as much for himself, but he's still very knowledgeable in game collecting and what different games are worth. And as somebody that's into buying collectible games for themselves, getting an idea of those values and knowing what to look for through a channel like Phoenix Resale, where the guy's giving out just a ton of great information, that's absolutely amazing. Now, he primarily sells on Amazon, whereas I think Retro Rick sells on eBay. So they're factoring in a bit different expenses, and there seems like there's some stuff that Phoenix Resale would buy that wouldn't have a very great margin on eBay, and most people would probably stay away from buying. So he buys a lot of smaller margin stuff that maybe isn't quite that collectible in the way that, Retro Rick is looking for. Another great one that I really like, particularly the personality of and the mindset of, is the Cincy Game Hunter. Now, he's obviously out of Cincinnati, as the name would suggest. Now, he buys the majority of this stuff for his personal collection. He likes knowing what it's worth. He likes knowing that, hey, I got a great deal on this game because I paid, way under, you know, what it's worth. He likes having that value in his head, but it's not really something that he's, you know, trying to actually flip the game for. So he seems like a good old gamer, and somebody that's definitely worth checking out. Collector's Luck is an example of another channel that, yeah, he keeps some stuff for himself, he sells some stuff. It's kind of a 50-50 deal, but another guy that's very knowledgeable in what these games are worth and definitely takes the time to share a lot of knowledge with the viewers. Now, he does frequent a fair amount of garage sales, at least looking back at some of his older videos, which is really neat because that's kind of more of a wild card thing that I haven't seen from Retro Rick or Phoenix Resale or some of these other guys, probably because it's not exactly garage sale season, maybe where they're at. Then just two more guys that I want to touch on that I actually found through Cincinnati Game Hunting's channel, and that's PickFlip. This guy he buys stuff mostly lately on Facebook Marketplace, but you know, also in thrift stores and whatnot. He'll turn some of it out online, but it seems like the majority of it he keeps for his personal collection. So definitely a great avid game collector. And then lastly, Rhode Island Gaming, RI Gaming, I guess that's actually the name of their channel. First of all, I found this channel because they have an awesome game room. I mean, they had an awesome game room last year. It looks like they moved this year because they had a new game room tour in their new house. This guy knows how to put together a game room. He's got a ton of awesome collectible stuff. You can tell this guy definitely takes his time to pick through finding cool stuff at thrift stores, and it's just very motivating to other people, I think, to be like, yeah, I could do that. I could go out and I could do that as well. And watching these channels is a great way to get yourself started. One of the things with me when I was doing this more, and even when I've kind of gotten back into it, I don't want to use my phone and necessarily check a lot of prices while I'm in the store. I may here or there check what a game is worth. If I'm really suspicious and I'm unsure of it, and it seems like something that could be collectible, yeah, I'll look it up. But I don't routinely check a ton of games when I'm in a thrift store. I try to do it from memory. I try to come in with a lot of knowledge from watching videos like this, from doing my own research, so that I can simply browse the shelves like a regular customer and find the things that have value and are collectible, and even more importantly, just find the games that I want to play and buy them at a price that's a good deal. And I think that's something that's beneficial for anybody who's into older games. So I highly recommend you check out all of these channels. They're absolutely awesome. And all of them are under 100,000 subscribers, so they haven't gotten enough attention. And because of that, because of that small audience, they're definitely the type of channels that will interact with you in the comment section if you choose to do so. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys check out those channels down in the description, and I will see you in the next video.